Make sure it's a red one.
It is red, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Well, that was exactly what we needed tonight. Questions were being asked. The unconvincing performance against Ammonia in the week after the derby. Yeah, it's a win, and we can also say a win away from home in Europe was a great comeback from what was a disaster at Manchester City last weekend. This was going to be a different test altogether. Best defence in the league before we started tonight. Unbeaten in the last 7 tonight. Lampard turned it around. Liverpool couldn't hit the target here. Manchester United did, and we put Everton to bed. We stopped that run, and in the process put ourselves right back in the mix there in 5th. We're just not going away. We got smashed by Brentford, we got outplayed by Brighton, we got smashed by City. We've had 2 weeks off from the Premier League while other teams have been playing their games, and we're still 5th. We ain't going anywhere. Why? Because Ten Hag has the mentality check in place in this football team right now. Look at the players that are coming back into the team. Anyone who's replacing any player in this team this season so far, he's destroying it. He's absolutely smashing it. Look at Luke Shaw tonight. He got the rocket up the arse after the first 2 performances, like I said, of the season. Brighton, Brentford. Ten Hag wielded the axe. He brought players out. Luke Shaw probably deserved to be out, and he held his hands up and said, I've got to fight for my place back. Last year's had 2 bad performances, and Ten Hag's gone, not good enough. You sit it out. I want to give Luke Shaw a chance again. Luke Shaw's got himself back in shape, and he's come on tonight and absolutely owned Anthony Gordon. Gordon wasn't even on the pitch, was he? He just looked absolutely out of it and lost, and absolutely mullered by Luke Shaw. Absolutely brilliant performance from him, and credit to him for coming back and taking that chance. Not moaning. He went away and went, you know what, I wasn't good enough. Ten Hag has put me in my place. He's the manager of this team. I've got to trust in him that I wasn't good enough. Get myself back in shape, take my chance when it comes around, and he's done just that. Luke Shaw now stays in the team. That's the standard that Ten Hag is set at Manchester United. That's what these players now all have to live to. This is exactly how Manchester United should be playing. Martial comes off today, Ronaldo comes on. Question marks about Ronaldo's attitude. Question marks about if he's still willing to put that shift in for United. Is he still willing to do them yards, dig in, defend when he has to? He defended tonight and he took his goal superbly. Absolutely brilliant finish under pressure. United's reaction to going down early was exactly what Manchester United used to be. It's like, we shouldn't be behind. This should not be happening. And they sort of played with anger past that. They were like, the reaction was to something that we've not seen for a long time. That happened last season, we're finished, it's game over. Absolutely done. We found our spot. We sort of knew our role and where we were as a team and the standard we are at Manchester City last week. We all held our hands up and said we were outplayed by one of the best teams in Europe right now, if not the world. It's sad to say, but that's the truth. Where were Manchester United? We knew we were fighting for top 4. In fact, top 4 was probably an overachievement this season. That's how I looked at it. I thought, you know what, with everything that's going on, how down this team is, the mentality, the culture at the club was just that much of a mess. It didn't matter who was being brought in or how much money we spent, he still had a massive job. He's turned players at this club that were failing last season into winners. Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay, players like that. Lindelof came in tonight and was excellent. Absolutely superb. We got pressured at the end by Rondon and Calvert-Lewin. Lampard went Allardyce and just went long ball in desperation because De Gea had his deck chair up. Well, it was raining, so he probably weren't getting much raise, but he had his deck chair out there tonight. I don't think he made one save tonight. I think one in the end. The cross came and claimed a few balls as they were pumping it in. And look at the team, the size of our team. Like Sir Martinez criticised for his size. He owned Mopai tonight, and nothing what Everton did off the bench changed anything. They huffed and puffed, but at the end of the day they ran out of ideas because we were so organised and we're playing as a team, as a unit. Banks of 4 when needed and breaking like I don't know what. And the passing, the slick triangle passing tonight, credit to Ten Hag again for sticking to his guns. People have been saying be more pragmatic. You need 2 holding midfielders. I've said this on the United Stand show the other day. You don't, because Ten Hag doesn't want that. You trust in the manager. We're all saying we need them 2 holding midfielders. That's because of Ole and Ranić and the way that we played then. We're not playing that way now. Ten Hag wants 1, and he's making the players trust in themselves and actually believing that they can play with 1, and that's how we played tonight. Like I said, we went a goal down, a mistake, an error. What do you do? Get behind your teammate, carry on digging, work hard to get back in the game. We did that, and it was good that we scored that second goal just before half time because we deserved it. We battered Everton in that first half. The start of the second half was more of the same. We should have scored another goal. We should have, and we should be putting games to bed. Yes, that's another criticism, but like I said, this is a tough ground to come. This is a hard game, especially off the back of what we've been dealing with Manchester City and all around that, and all the pundits and criticism that we've received. The reaction tonight was superb. The win in midweek was good. The win today was very good. Let's move on now, step by step by step, game by game. We recovered from that bad defeat, and that's what United haven't done this season. The first time we've come from behind in the league this season and won a game. We did it in Europe, easier, yes. We've done it again tonight against a team that doesn't concede many goals. That's a big ask, and it's credit to this team tonight for digging in there and getting that win. Unfortunate for Martial, I've seen Rashford limping off as well at the end there. Hopefully that's not too serious, but now you look at it and you go, all right, Anthony Elanga, your turn. In you come. Can you do what Ten Hag has made the other players do? Players are being forced to play for their place right now, and it's brilliant. It's good to see. He's been true to his word. When a player plays well, he stays in. If a player isn't that good, he's replaced, and until his replacement plays bad, you don't get back in the team. Scott McTominay is suspended now after his yellow card, so we see Casemiro again, but to be honest, Casemiro's performance on his own tonight pretty much summed up who he's going to be playing next week against Newcastle. It will be Casemiro. Maybe you get a rest in midweek because McTominay is suspended. We'll see from that one. But Casemiro tonight, he was good and bad, I thought, but his good was superb and his bad was just average. The mistake he made in giving the ball away, then winning it back to superbly put Ronaldo through, who took the ball away to give us the lead, was absolutely brilliant. I thought Casemiro, Antony, Shaw, players like that were really all fighting for man of the match tonight. But my man of the match is Antony. He was criticised by Paul Scholes and other pundits, not tracking back, not giving cover to your full-back. He's took it on board. He's learning a new division. He's learning a new system, because Ten Hag can't play how he wanted to play at Ajax just yet. So it's just new to him, and he's having to adapt, and he's adapting. He's got 3 goals now, and his defensive display tonight was outstanding. He was tracking back, winning balls, setting off counter-attacks. Absolutely brilliant performance from him. I'm giving him man of the match just because of that, because of the critique that he's had. A new player in this country, in this league, the hardest league in the world, and he's just taking on the criticism and making it, using it to his advantage. He's using it and making himself better, and he's had an absolutely superb start. I think it's the first player, I think there was a stat out there, I don't know if it's the first South American player, maybe the first United player to score in all 3 of his first starts in his first season. I think he's broke the record or something like that. He deserves massive credit for that, scoring in all 3 of his first 3 games for Manchester United. Absolutely brilliant tonight from him. Credit, and they've got the fans back on side. That is massive. Ten Hag is changing this team, and to everyone who was laughing at us last week, yeah, we're still not the finished article, but no one's running away from us, are they? So yeah, sit back down again. We know where we belong. We're fighting for top 4, and that's exactly where we are right now, even with the garbage that we've seen so far at occasions this season. We're moving up. That was a massive positive tonight. Can't sit on that though. We have to move on from there. Beat Ammonia, put that group to bed, move on to Newcastle. That's an even bigger game now, because Newcastle are firing. That won't be easy, but the tougher the game at the moment, it seems to be we're getting a reaction from the players, and that's what we want to see. Guys, let me know what you think. Who's your man of the match? Who stood out tonight? How did we win that game? Like, share and subscribe to the United Stand. Cheers for watching, everybody. I'm going to go and get dry.